Good evening from London.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the evening lecture. The subject this evening are psychic vampires, indeed. Okay, you must have all come across negative people in your lives. If you're regularly exposed to a fair amount of people, chances are you've probably encountered at least a few negative people, with one or two really negative ones. Negative people tend to leave others around them drained, tired, and lethargic. No matter what you say, they have always seemed to find a way to counter with a negative opinion. When they face a problem, they absorb the issue rather than deal with it constructively or indeed consciously. They adopt a self-victimizing mindset, complaining about whatever happens, always moaning. Even when you try to change the subject to something good and positive, they have a way to turn it around or turn it into something negative. They are constantly fixated with the doom and gloom of their life. Everything is dark, there is no light. And even in the event where there is something positive that enters their life, they are quick to negate it, or see it as a one-off encounter, or see the dark side behind all of it. To negative people, life is a battle and life is a drag. Negative people can make you feel negative, like critical people can as well. But critical people are not necessarily the same. The natural reaction of critical people is to criticize and pinpoint things they don't like. Whereas for negative people, they don't usually have any bad intent towards others. They feel negative towards life in general. And therefore there are negative, extremely negative people. They are energy vampires. Like vampires, negative people are incapable of raising positive life within themselves, the life force energy. So they feed off the energy of others. Vampires convert living beings into their kind because they feel lonely living in isolation. Similarly, negative people like to do the same. As the saying goes, misery loves company. The reason why negative people can't access their energy is because they have blocked off their inner resources. They're not in touch with their own light. And being around them then leaves you drained in their presence. For the more negative ones, the effect can be so overwhelming that you feel headaches or dizziness and can feel quite unstable. These are super vampires. These super vampires relinquish their power to others. Positive people are in tune with their inner resources. They're in tune with their light. Their energy flows outwards, spreading positivity and warmth to people around them. That is why you feel upbeat and energetic. You feel alive when you are around positive people. They have a sort of magnetic quality about them. They give out this magnetic, this light, drawing in others automatically. Great leaders, iconic figures and idols have this quality, enabling them to attract large masses of people. So if you're dealing with energy vampires, and you probably are in your life, I'd like to give you a little bit of advice, just a few things to contemplate and to perhaps bring into your life to help you. The first important step when facing energy vampires is to ground yourself. To ground yourself is to center yourself such that you do not feel easily affected or swayed by negative energies around you. Otherwise you'll get easily drained and sucked in. And here I want to just mention a few grounding thoughts that perhaps will help you. The first one is when you're dealing with an ungrounded feeling, we tend to look downwards. This kind of puts us in an internally focused state where any stress or negative feelings are amplified and they can quickly snowball, unfortunately. So the first key in any situation of ungroundedness or feeling ungrounded is to look up. Just move your eyes up towards the sky and take a deep breath in. Another way is to feel your connection with the earth. When we are ungrounded, we feel disconnected and spaced out, or just completely out of sorts. So to feel grounded again, you need to focus on your connection with the ground. Feel your feet on the floor, move them about, and feel the sensation of the ground against your feet. Start walking about or stamp them against the floor and really focus on the solid feel of the earth beneath you. Imagine you're rooted in. And another way is to feel your frame. Bend your knees slightly and push your hands down onto your thighs. Feel how solid your frame is. Pat up and down your arms and legs. This opens the meridian channels and reminds you of your solid physical self. A further way to help yourself and protect yourself is to shield yourself. This is kind of like your second layer of protection after grounding. A shield is like a bubble around you that separates you in the world. It's an energy barrier in a way, which keeps out any forms of undesirable energy from entering into your space. Like a real shield, your shield is a defense tool which protects you from aggressors or attacks from outside. It keeps your energy within you and prevents it from getting sucked in by the energy vampire. So, I'd like to just bring your attention to the bubble technique. Many of you have probably heard of the bubble technique, but I just want to go over that for a moment with you. It's the most basic technique for protecting oneself magically. And the way to do that is to simply imagine yourself inside a ball of white light that turns away any negative energy before it can touch you. When you visualize this ball of light around you, you want to make sure it appears opaque and solid in your mind's eye. This bubble should extend about a foot above your head and at least 6 inches below your feet. It doesn't have to be a perfect sphere. Just make it fit around your body in whatever shape seems most comfortable or right for you. You want to enforce the energy in the areas above and below to be just as strong as the areas in front and behind you. Then there is the burning flame. And the burning flame is best used in situations that may require a great amount of psychic protection over a short period of time. If you are entering a place, a meeting or a situation with a terrible amount of negativity, you can perform this technique. Some people visualize their shields as a fire surrounding them at all times, which is fine too. So go deep inside yourself, to the center of your being, and know that in your center is an intense source of energy, the very energy that all your magical abilities come from. With your consciousness in this core of your being, create an eruption of energy within yourself, just like a volcano building up pressure. which causes your energy to rise and expand from your center out. As the energy reaches the outside of your body, have it burst into a blue flame that surrounds your body. The curved base of the flame should be at your feet, and the tip of the flame above your head. The intense energy flame will burn any outside vibrations before they can reach you. And then imagine more energy fanning the flames stronger and higher as you exhale. And the shield, of course, is not permanent. The energy of the shield wears off over time, which lowers its ability to protect you. In the face of negative people trying to suck your energy, the shield's defense ability can quickly be depleted. The more negative the person is, the weaker the shield becomes. When it reaches a point where the shield's energy is fully depleted, it will cease to function. So to avoid that from happening, you should constantly check to ensure your shield is present and upkeep it where needed. Another idea, of course, with psychic vampires is to try and be in larger groups. It's hard to deal with a negative person on a one-to-one basis because all the negativity will be concentrated towards you. In a group, however, the attention is divided between you and the other people. This way you don't have to bear the full amount, the full brunt of the person's negativity, as it's kind of like shared around. Be an active listener, perhaps. People are usually negative because of several factors in their life or events that have taken place in their past. Sometimes their venting comes from regressing their grievances. Rather than disregard their viewpoints, be an active listener. Sometimes what people need aren't solutions per se, but just someone to listen and empathize with them. By letting them air out their thoughts, get them out into the open, sometimes it leads to realizations on what they should do, and this can help them in a positive way. Be helpful and kind. Is there a way that you can help them in a positive way? Sometimes people complain as a way of crying out for help. See if there's anything you can do to support them. Ask them, is there anything I can do to help you? Is there anything I can do to make you feel better? They may not show it, but deep down, they'll appreciate your kindness. Keep the situation light. Some negative people are triggered by certain topics or subjects. And once on that subject, they just don't relent. And we would like to elevate that person out of their negativity. But sometimes the negativity is so deeply rooted that we can't do it in a one-off conversation, or the person has very staunch opinions on a particular topic. So it might be better to just switch off to a different topic. Move the conversation, and to try and lighten the mood. Talking about simple things like films, movies, what's happening in the world, positive things that is, shared friends. Just make light of the conversation. Keep it to things that uplifts the person. And of course, if none of that works, the next step is to just reduce contact, really. Limit your contact as much as you can. If it's at work, say the person is a work colleague, then limit the conversation, the engagement, the interaction to just work-related issues, and keep it short. And finally, if none of that works, get rid of them. When all else fails, the final solution is to get rid of them from your life. And this may seem very harsh, but bear in mind that energy vampires hold you down from reaching your full potential, since they keep feeding off your energy and taking from you. And in spending your time around energy vampires, you'll soon become very negative yourself. So think about now the people that you interact with, people that you are involved with on an everyday basis. Are there any energy vampires? What can you do to make life better for yourself? And it's something that you seriously need to give thought to. And finally, I'd like to just say to you, protect and keep your energy.